Okay, today we have with us Nils Klipstein. Nils Klipstein is an intuitive writer and heart chakra coach. Born in 1971, Nils had an early start on his spiritual path at 12 years old. He does hypnosis work and has produced many audio titles with guided imageries for more self-worth, success, and serenity. Since his move to Canary Islands, he's been writing more about higher dimensions, chakra healing, inner shadow work, and self-love. And today he's going to be talking to us about how to feel more love in your relationships. Welcome.
Hello, Raini. Thank you
Hi.
for being here with you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. So let's just dive right in. What do you feel is the centerpiece of your work?
Yeah, that was actually a tricky one to figure out myself because it's so small in one way, and I almost overlooked it. So, like I described a technique that I just call heart chakra breathing, and I use that like an introduction for other techniques. So, like I explained, like energetic techniques, like healer and creator is one that I write in my books about. And so I say, before you do healer and creator, you do the heart chakra breathing to come into the right space. And then a couple of years later, I figured, hey, this is actually the main thing because it changes so much in your life if you just practice that. And if you want to, maybe the listeners would like to try it out because it's really so super simple. You just focus on your heart chakra, which is right here in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and you just breathe naturally. So you just let your body do what it does. Like just go in the belly and everywhere, and have the physical breath stays the same. So you don't change that, but you change your perception of it, and so you imagine how you breathe in love and you breathe out love. So with every inhale, you just let the love flow into your heart chakra and into your heart center. And then you fill your body with it. And with the out breath, you just breathe it out into the space around you. And if you try that right now, and if you try it while we talk, for example, it changes a lot. And for the listeners, if they try to remember it during our talk, it will also change their perception and their way how they experience this talk together.
So what do
So,
you feel like
yeah.
it does? Like, how does it change your perception?
Mhm. So a lot of us are, very often either in the head and having a lot of thoughts and going through mind stuff, no, and usually we're used to be very logical, like using our head as a computer, and being very
Mm-hmm.
efficient with it. And so we forget about our center, which is actually at our heart space. And then other people tend to go a lot in the stomach area, which is like the lower chakras. And especially if they watch a lot of news, and so they get a lot of fear, which is like the main topic in these years for many people. And so they stay all the time in their lower chakras down there. But so that means the consciousness is actually there, and they cannot perceive what is happening up here in the heart. So either way, you come from the top or you come from the bottom, it's both wrong, kind of, because you're not in your center. So if you go here and you breathe here and you have your consciousness in your inner heart space, then your whole world changes, your perception changes, and the way you react to things, the way you talk, the way you listen, everything changes for you. Then try it.
Yes, you just described me, honestly.
Yeah,
To me, I I live thinking, and then also I feel things in my stomach. And
right,
this is
right.
where I feel anxiety a lot, is a stomach ache. And then
Yes.
especially like you mentioned, um, just recently, we're recording this at the beginning of May 2022. So there is a lot of negativity in the news, and
Exactly.
life feels scary and bleak, honestly, at times.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I really,
Yes.
um, that's you've just explained me to a T. So I would love to learn this from you, even right now. So do you need to, is it something like a meditation where you need to like close your eyes and think about your heart, or is this something more of like a way of being all the time?
The second, basically. So of course you can use it in your meditation, and it's like the simplest way of doing a meditation. I mean, you just close your eyes, and if you want, you can hold your hand here a little bit on the beginning, just to feel where you are, you know, because it just helps to have that presence of your hand there. And then, you know, just let go after a while, and so on. You just keep breathing here, and you don't really need to do anything else in the meditation, and you will just stay in your heart space. But the nice thing is you can do it everywhere and all the time. And that's where, I mean, I call it like the simplest spiritual technique on the planet, but it's actually one of the hardest, because we get so distracted by things, no? Like, I mean, of course, you see news and you go right in the stomach because you have the fear, right? Or you talk with someone and you go in the head, and you're disrupted by things, and then this is important and that is important. I mean, we are living in a crazy world, right? And there's so many things going on. So the difficult thing is to actually stay here and to always come back when you lose it. So you know, always to remember to come again and again and again, to come back and feel your breath and feel it right here, and just stay in your heart. It's so difficult. I mean, I'm trying it for years and years, and I get better, like every day, I think, but it's still difficult, you know? But it gets better if you practice.
Yeah, I could believe that, especially I like the idea of thinking about love coming in and out, and love as an energy, especially in moments where I feel anxious. I try to remind myself to take deeper breaths and get that oxygen to my brain. But adding the love piece feels to me like a lovely cushion for my mind and thoughts.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And
So
you can like do it like when you're, you know, waiting for something, or so, like before the cash register or so, and you have these 5 minutes and you know, you don't know what to do, or so you just go here, or you're in front of a traffic light or so, just go here and breathe and use it as a meditation time.
yeah. So if you get couples to do that, how can that change the life of a couple?
It changes a lot in the communication first, because so what I like to what I write about in my books also is what I call truth talk. Is like when you sit together and have one person talk and the other listens, and then you know, really listen without disrupting, and then after a couple of minutes the other, so you change, and you do that in a couple rounds as long as needed, no? But if you can do that, I mean, that everyone knows that technique, I think, no, kind of, you can read that in books and so. But now if you add the heart chakra breathing to it, it changes a lot. It brings it to a different level, because if you speak from the heart and if you listen from the heart, it's completely different. Because see, if one person is in the heart and the other is more on the ego stage, maybe because of fear, or maybe because of anger, or maybe because of rebelling or something, no? Then communication is really difficult. You know, one tries to be nice, or is nice, and the other doesn't really trust that, maybe, and you know, so you have to come first both to the heart to understand each other. And with the heart chakra breathing, you can, and then, you know, you're on the same level. And then when you listen, then you understand, oh, actually, you know, my husband or my wife means it in a different way than I first thought. You know?
Yeah, and this, I can see how this can create, open the way for closeness within couples relationships.
Yes.
Do you find that once you teach people this and they use it, that's the effect that it has?
Yes, definitely. So once you're used to using the heart chakra breathing, you can also, of course, do it in everything that you do with your partner together. And one thing that I'm showing in my book, Hooray, I'm Human, is hugging meditations, which is like not the quickie type of hugging, a couple of seconds or so that we're used to these days, but it's actually holding the other for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then really breathing both, with both people breathing through the heart chakra. That makes, again, all the difference, because, you can just hug and yeah, it's kind of nice and so on. But if you breathe from here, and if you connect from here, then the two heart chakras actually talk with each other. They communicate in the astral bodies. They balance themselves out, and you can really connect to the other soul, and it's on a much deeper level. And so this hugging, I mean, you can do in many different ways. You can, the typical is like, either standing or sitting, just the front way, or you can also one after the other, and then change after a while, like 10 minutes or something. It's always a different experience, because like if you hold, or if you're being held, it's a different feeling to it. And if everything comes from the heart, it can be actually as deep as a sexual experience, although you don't have to be naked for this. You can just have it with clothes and connect on a level that most couples don't do.
It feels, even just talking about it and imagining what that would be like, feels very calming to me. And I can see how it would be very helpful, especially if you're in a relationship where you have there's struggles, to reconnect in that way, to get closer, so that then you have more desire to work things out.
Yes.
And just the idea of taking a moment of silence, to be silent and just focus on each other's presence like that, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, and you can do it like, every morning or something for 10 minutes if you want, and have that like a ritual kind of thing, and then maybe, when you maybe later in the evening, you can do it again, another 10 minutes or so, and if you get used to that, it's a completely different relationship suddenly.
So how can we experience a stronger feeling of love in our inner heart center?
Stronger than that.
Well, is that I guess I mean like in ourselves, so that we can share that with our partner, like feeling stronger feelings of love in our daily life and throughout, so that we can come together with our partner and share that.
Right. So what the heart chakra breathing is doing is it's connecting you to your own heart center, and which is really the center of your own universe, if you want to see it like that. And this is where your self-love is coming from. So each time you do it, you strengthen your self-love, and you can just completely fall in love with yourself that way, and that grows and grows and gets stronger and stronger. There's no end to it, really. And then if the partner does the same, then you just meet on a different level. When both love themselves, then it's so much easier to love the partner, because usually, one or the other is usually lacking on self-love, sometimes, or also both, because we're not taught this in school for sure, and we don't know much about this, and so you have to go to a seminar also to learn what self-love is, but it's not that difficult. If you just breathe here, you feel it, and when you feel it, then you can just bring it more and more into your life and in every situation, and then you strengthen. And there are these studies even on the heart field, and you can like measure the heart field now from a person like 100 meters away or something, I believe. They have some institutes in America actually that are inspecting those things. And so if you go here with your consciousness and you strengthen your heart space, then your field will expand, and this will change things in your life. You know, like miracles actually happen. You will see, like you will attract other kind of people to you in the life. And yeah, you get, of course, other reactions from people, you know, and even when you pay for your groceries or so, you suddenly get a different kind of smile, maybe, from the person, you know, and because they feel it. They don't really know what's going on, but they feel something is different with this, you know, with this human being in front. And yeah, there's like an inner perception of this heart field. And we just
this is maybe a little off the beaten path, but maybe not. So when we're talking about self-love and breathing into your heart chakra, when I hear people talk about self-love, there's usually a lot of talk about thinking and like self-forgiveness for mistakes, or even just being human, really. How does that play together for self-love, for people who struggle with self-love? Like, is it something like truly just focus on your heart chakra, or you know, how do those thoughts of self-recrimination, negative self-talk, how does that play with this?
So, for example, what is very nice to do every once in a while is a seclusion for yourself, no? Where you just have time only with yourself. And I personally do that also in the darkness, which is a bit extreme for some people maybe, but it's like you don't have any other senses or central information around you, so you can only focus on yourself. That's the only thing that is left, basically, right? But you can also do a seclusion, just 3 days in your home place or so, or find a nice place somewhere in nature also. And what is good then, if you just see what things come up, if you really have the time for it, and if you allow yourself to have the time to just see what kind of images, what kind of memories come up, like you said, things that didn't work so well in life, things that I haven't forgiven someone, or I haven't forgiven me, maybe. And you just feel that for a while, and it's okay to feel it. It wants to be felt, right? You don't want to push it away or so. You feel where it is, like in your body, for example. Like, is it more, stomach area feeling, or where does it come from? Where is it present? And you go, just like maybe 10 seconds or so, you go into that feeling. It's enough. You don't need to do much more. And then you start your heart chakra breathing and see how it changes. So it can either sometimes dissolve, or it can transform, or it can integrate, or it can heal. So it's like different aspects of what can happen then. And you just keep breathing here, and just watch it as a like see what happens with your memory or with your feelings, and yeah, and see what it does to you. And then after a while, you can just let go, and you will feel peace. And then maybe something else comes up, and then you can go again. You first feel it, and then you go into the heart space and see how you can change it. And you mentioned forgiving ourselves that we are human was a major step for me. And this is why I call the book like that. Hooray, I am human. And I had to cry when I actually figured that one out for myself, because yeah, I had these moments, where I felt completely lonely, or where I was lacking something, or where I was hurt by something, and feeling okay with that, saying, yes, this is the human experience. Thank you. And I can feel it. Yes, here it is. And then I bring it into my heart space, and I'm thankful and grateful for it. And then I can say, okay, it's okay to be human. And that is a very nice feeling.
Both of these are definitely new ways for me for thinking about things and what to do. And I will definitely try to integrate this heart chakra, and especially with feeling, when thoughts come up, allowing feelings to, and then I'm very interested to see how that might affect things. And then also, yes, just learning how to accept humanness. I'm sure many people in the audience struggle with that. I struggle with that a lot. It's if I was a character in a book, they would probably say this is her fatal flaw, her written in fatal flaw, is I really struggle with this myself, with perfectionism and accepting limitations, things like that, So this has been really helpful for me. I do want to ask before we finish up, we're almost out of time. Can you tell us a little bit more about your free gift, which is the audiobook, Hooray, I'm Human, which is so generous of you to offer for our listeners. What can listeners expect if they, let's see, audio means if they listen to this book?
Yes. So first of all, it's not completely published. I will upload it chapter by chapter. And I'm still editing and changing a few things here and there and bringing the order in the right way. And then I'm writing, of course, in German, which is my mother tongue, and then I translate it. And then both chapters go online when everything is done. So it's a process, and I'm still in it. But like the first third or so, I think, is done and is published. And it just brings you step by step into a process of how to discover yourself as a loving human being, and then how to bring that into your relationship. So it's a lot about the hugging meditation. That's like the center piece. Well, apart from the heart chakra breathing. And then it shows many different aspects of what you can do. So like forgiving, for example, is one important thing, or like resolving your issues also together with the couple that you have. And then, a lot of practical things like, how can we do this? Like, if we have this amount of time, what could we do? What could we try out? Maybe are there variations to make it a little bit more interesting or so? Yeah.
So if people that are watching this want to hear more from you, work with you, interact with you, or read more about more of your writings or about you, where can they find you?
Yeah, well, the YouTube channel, I guess, then is first good thing to hit the subscribe button then and to get the new chapters. You will also find me very easily on Facebook, because I believe there's no one else with my name around. And so I do offer also, like a couple sessions online or individual sessions. So if you like to go more into detail with things, so then just feel free to contact. And on the YouTube profile, you will also see some links to my websites. I have different websites to different topics, but you will also find the hugging meditations, which I call sensual energetic healing. So that's on sensualenergetichealing.com.
Oh, wonderful.
With hyphens in between.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us. It's I love it. It's a different perspective than a lot of what I hear, at least in my circle. And I love when I can talk to people who have something to offer that's new and for me to expand. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now let me ask one question. Did you, or did also the listeners, did they stay in the heart chakra while we talk?
Honestly, this is honest. It's kind of amazing, because when you were talking about it and I was thinking, I could definitely tell a difference. Like when I was talking about what the world is like right now, and the fear, I absolutely had a stomach ache. But then when I thought about breathing through the heart chakra, the stomach ache does dissolve. But I could, I feel like I was like a flickering light. Like I could feel like tension in my head as I'm thinking things, and then refocus, and I'd be like, okay, I want to do what he's talking about, focus on that, and then I'd kind of let go, and then find myself, oh, there's that stomach aches back. And so I felt kind of like a spark plug.
Yeah, yeah.
But
well, that's the process.
I can see that if you practiced, it's really interesting. I'm definitely going to be diving deeper into this, because the fact that I could even feel a little bit of difference in the anxiety of my stomach versus up here and breathing, that's really cool. I could tell a difference for sure.
Cool. That's very good that you have that experience right here. And yeah, that's exactly what it does. And then just keep going.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.